been a long while since the last gym battle. I think it was in part 25. So basically, this gym drought lasted 19 whole videos. But I doubt the next one will last that long. It's all up to how long the self building takes. And execute? Oh, now I'm in trouble. I'm gonna try and sleep it, then body slam it with Venusaur. So yeah, Hypnosis, it misses. And Reflect on top of that? Well, that kind of defeats the whole point of body slamming it. I'm gonna try Hypnosis again. This time it connects. And after that, well, I'm gonna keep Gengar in so it can at least get all the experience for Execute, especially since now it technically resists all of my attacks, so at least I'm gonna use Psychic, and this should do the trick. So now it's on to Erika, and the fact that she has a Victreebel reminded me of the robbery Victreebel was victim of in Platinum. If you thought Flareon had it bad, well, it had it worse, because at least now Victreebel has Leaf Blade to fall back on, but it should have had Gunk Shot too. They made a Gunk Shot move tutor, and, well, Victreebel had to pass up on the Poison Jab TM, but the Gunk Shot move tutor, it definitely should have had it. In fact, people were so sure that it was gonna get it, that it was already on all the move tutor lists in the early days of Platinum, in the first 3 or 4 days, until someone tested it and realized, no, it doesn't get Gun Shot, only Leaf Blade. Now, everyone was understandably pissed because it doesn't have any moves aside from Leaf Blade it can really use with Swords Dance, so at least Gunk Shot would have given it a new window of opportunity. But that's enough for now, because Gym Battle 4 is about to begin, and she uses Victreebel as her lead, and really, it shouldn't be that much of a problem, with Psychic being super effective, Gengar's absolutely massive special stat. I was about to say special attack, but really there is only one special stat, so yeah, what's the point? Except that it makes it a much better special wall than in the other generations, and Psychic isn't enough. Constrict? Well, I am going to go out on a limb and assume that it's got nothing that can really harm me, though a grass type without a grass move at least, it's not very effective against Gengar, but it would have at least have done better than Constrict. And Vileplume is obviously going to go down in the exact same fashion as Victreebel, its counterpart. So, yet another gym leader fails to inflict damage on me. The only time a gym leader did do damage on me, it was Surge's Raichu. So it's 3 perfects out of 4. Well, if Tangela had been a little smarter, maybe it could have done some slight damage. What? The badge allows me to use strength in and out of battle? I thought I could already use it in battle, so why not just out of battle? And yeah, there was also a Mega Drain TM back then, and of course they realized it just was way too weak, despite the name just implying, you know, it's Mega Drain, it drains a lot of energy, but with 40 power, which is the same as Scratch, nah, not so much. So they realized this and made Giga Drain in the following generation, but it was still too weak. No one uses it even now. And yeah, she just said, I wouldn't collect Pokemon that are unattractive. Well, how did you become a gym leader then? And I honestly can't say Tangela and Victreebel are that attractive. And if you're a high-ranking trainer, shouldn't you be prepared to do everything in order to win, even using Pokemon you don't like all that much? Okay, now it's time for a proper exploration session of Saffron, which shouldn't take too long since a lot of the buildings are closed off by rocket grunts. But anyway, as I was saying, you should be able to use anything if you really want to win, which opens up the can of worms of people who just don't want to use overused Species to species? I don't know about you, but I was taught that it was species even when it was singular. Wow, grammar fail right there. But anyway, those people who act like they don't want to win, why do they even bother playing competitively anyway? I mean, sure, being original works if you think it actually has a chance of working, but being original just for the sake of being original and not doing what everyone else does, well, I think it goes against the very heart of the word competitive. You probably agree on this, but there are those who don't. And of course, I wouldn't be talking about that if everyone agreed on this. Okay, now with that guy saying, I just can't get over this. Psychic has a 30% chance in this generation of lowering the special stat, which governs both attack and defense. So, 90 power, 100 accuracy, and a 30% chance of lowering what are essentially 2 stats? You just gotta wonder if they intended Psychic to be so damn broken, especially with Mewtwo around. But it's not just Mewtwo, it's everything that can get the dang move, stabbed or not. Now, of course, there are those who use Psychic better than others, but the type is totally broken defensively. With that move, it's also totally broken offensively. And, of course, both Ubers in this generation are of the Psychic type. Coincidence? Somewhere, you gotta wonder where what's intended begins and what's not voluntary stops. Alright, now I'm gonna check out the Pokemart, and after that it's going to be the Fighting Dojo, yet another place where Gengar really can rampage with Psychic, especially since everything in there is of the fighting type. And after that, in the Sylph Tower, you've got a ton of Rockets who use mostly poison types. So, yeah, as I was saying, Psychic just seems to rape everything, and the game makes it even easier in this part of the game. You've had the Celadon Gym where everything was weak to Psychic, the Fighting Dojo where everyone's weak to Psychic, and you even have the Saffron Tower where everything is weak to Psychic. That is just... I'm sorry. This is just way too strong. Way too strong. Even the opponents the game throws at you just scream, Psychic is overpowered. But to finish this video off, just a quick note on Mystery Dungeon 3, which I didn't have time to mention in the last video. It makes sense that they'd release it in the build-up to a new generation, and it doesn't make sense at the same time. Makes sense from a marketing standpoint, where you can really start building up the hype machine for the new games. But it doesn't make sense when you think that they could stuff in a lot more content, especially content that wasn't in the second game, if you just wait a little while longer until you release the game. Because right now, purely in terms of gameplay, it looks like it's gonna be a lot like Mystery Dungeon 2. And what's the storyline gonna be about? Just think about it, there were a lot of Pokemon that were used in the first 2 games as far as the storyline is concerned. Personally, I think Giratina is going to be a prominent part of the storyline, especially with the origin form. Alright, I'm gonna continue the Fighting Dojo next time.